Hello, good day, my glorious families. I welcome you to today's chapter of the day. So, today's chapter, let's continue into the book of Job, chapter 39. Remember, I told you 38, 39, 40, 41, and 42, which is the last chapter for the book of Job. And I told you that those five chapters are so powerful. The reason is because God spoke through those chapters, and those were like revelations. Like, do I say it's way more than Revelation? We understand that the book of Revelation revealed a lot of things. But guess what? In this book of Job, from chapter 38 to the end of the book of Job, God spoke some things that were not revealed in the book of Revelation. I never knew snow has a storehouse where God stored them. And then I never knew that there are things God puts in one place just for the times of war. And when God is talking about war, I am for sure that that is not about physical war we fight. That's spiritual war, warfare for real. So there are a lot of things that God said in the book of Job from those chapters I mentioned, and then it makes you like go wow. So today, yesterday I read with my son, but today I want to read it by myself. I want to take it step by step by step. So let's go. So chapter 39 says, do you know the time when the wide mountain goats bear young? When the wide mountain goats bear young. Or can you mark when the deer gives birth? Which means every little thing has meaning. But we don't know. Can you remember the moments that the months that they fulfill? Or do you know the time when they bear young? They bow down, they bring forth their young, they deliver their offspring. Their young ones are healthy, they grow strong with grain, they depart and do not return to them. Really? Really? So they just depart when their young ones depart and they never come back. Chai. Who sets the wild donkey free? Who loose the bonds of the onager? Whose home I have made the wilderness, and the barren land is dwelling. He scorns the tumult of the city. He does not heed the shout of the driver. The range of the mountains in his pasture, and he searches after every green thing. Verse 9. Will the wild ox be willing to serve you? Will he bed by your manger? Can you bind the wild ox in the furrow with ropes? Or will he plow the valleys behind you? Will you trust him because his strength is great? Or will you leave your labor to him? Will you trust him to bring home your grain and gather it to your threshing floor? Verse 13. The wings of the ostrich wave proudly, but our wings and pinions like the kindly stalks. For she leaves her eggs on the ground and warms them in the dust. She forgets that a foot may crush them. Wow. The wings of the ostrich wave proudly, but her wings and pinions like the kindly stalks. For she leaves her eggs on the ground and warms them in the dust. She forgets that a foot may crush them, or that a wild beast may break them. She treats her young harshly, as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain, without concern, because God deprived her of wisdom and did not endow her with understanding. That is from 13 to 17. And that's about ostrich. 18. When she lifts herself on high, she scorns the horse and his rider. Have you given the horse strength? Have you clothed his neck with thunder? Can you frighten him like a locust? His majestic snorting strikes terror. He paws in the valley and rejoices in his strength. He gallops into the clash of arms. He mocks at fear and is not frightened. Nor does he turn back from the sword. The quiver rattles against him, the glittering spear and javelin. He devours the distance with fierceness and rage. Nor does he come to a halt because the trumpet has sounded. At the blast of the trumpet he says, "Ha ha!" He smells the battle from afar. The thunder of captains and shouting, Does the hawk fly by your wisdom and spread his wings towards the south? Does the eagle mount up at your command? Meaning the eagle mounts up at God's command. I mean, this is wow. Wow. That's 17 and 27. And make its nest on high. Does the eagle mount up at your command and make its nest on high? On the rock it dwells and resides on the crag of the rock and the stronghold, from where it spies out the prey. Its eyes observed from afar. So let me say that again. It said, on the rock it dwells and resides. On the crag of the rock and the stronghold, from where it spies out the prey. Its eyes observe from afar. So the eagle, they stay on the mountain, and then there on the rock they spy out on their prey, and their eyes observe the prey from afar. That's verse 28 and 29. And then 30 says, its young ones suck up blood. Eagles, do they suck up blood? Its young ones suck up blood, and where the slain are, there it is. You know what? I have a Yoruba Bible, that's my dialect. I don't know if you do have Bible in your dialect. Sometimes it's good to put it on our dialect and listen to all of these wow messages, and you will be surprised. You will just stick to your bed and be, wow, this is good to listen to. I mean, there are secrets that God revealed in all of these chapters, and you'll be like, really? You know, when he talk about rain, he talks about, that means every little things, we just take them for granted. It's just like the elders in Nigeria, right? The elders will tell you, from where I come from, they will tell you, do you know, or did you know how the water, the liquid in the coconuts, how did they get in? Did you know, or do you know? How did they get in? Only God can answer that. All of those are mysteries, and yet people say there is no God. So did you hear anything new from this chapter 39? I do. A lot about eagles, about ostrich. I appreciate you joining me, and I hope you join me again in chapter 40 tomorrow. God bless you. I'll see you again. Bye.
We are the glorious generation family.